Welcome back, everybody. Thanks again for joining us here. It is for me, as I'm doing this, it's getting to be a late Friday night. We talked about earlier, back in the day, that was prime partying time. I'd be out on Washington Street, hitting the Oasis and a couple other establishments there. So I did switch up from my water to an adult beverage here, but taking it a little easy. I got an alcoholic spritzer here, seltzer water. So cheers to you. All right. It is time to go into our Star Wars buys of the week. This, for me, was my biggest win of the card show. So I've gotten some Star Wars before, but two things were happening with the Star Wars I kept coming across. Why? Because Adam at the Dollar Box often beats me to the Star Wars. Well, this show, I got there first, and I cleaned this dealer out when I saw it. So number one, I never get the stickers. They're always gone by the time I get to them. This time I got some stickers. Two, the condition is always kind of questionable when I'm getting Star Wars cards, especially the old vintage ones. And those are the ones that really matter the most, right? Well, the Steelers cards were pretty good shape, a little bit of soft corners, but no creases, no holes, no dents. And I saw that and I said, well, shoot, I sell some of the stuff that is not in the best condition. These cards are great. I need to be willing to pay up a little bit more. So Star Wars, I did have to pay up higher than my typical goal of 20 to 30 cents. Still was able to get them for less than $1. The dealer was not super excited to part with them at a discount. This was one of the harder negotiations I had for the day to get him to come down at all. But in the end, I was able to get a decent price, I think, for what I'll get in a return on these. So without further ado, I think it's time to jump into the Star Wars card. So where's that card cam? Here we go. All right, so we've got the card cam ready to go. I'm going to take out our picker wheel now because we won't need that anymore. So, as I said, I was finally able to get some stickers. And let's start right here with our friendly neighborhood Tusken Raider. This is from the 77 series. I think I do a pretty good Tusken Raider impression. But I will tell you, my wife hates it when I do it in the house. Because you can't do a Tusken Raider impression quietly. You have to do it with some bravado, right? I am not going to do it right now because I don't want my wife coming down to yell at me. Because they would hear it upstairs where they're probably settling in for the night. But I love the Tusken Raiders. I think it's a cool character. I was stoked to find some Tusken Raiders stickers. All right, up next, we've got 3PO and R2 out in the desert. Again, 1977 Star Wars vintage stickers. And this gentleman is no longer with us. Had to be computer generated in the recent run of movies. Admiral Piet, I believe is who that is. Nice quality sticker. I see no blemishes on any of these. The Tusken Raider has a little bit of corner damage, but I don't know that matters as much on the stickers. The stickers is what you're getting that for, right? And the stickers are really perfect on these. And these other two cards, the 3PO and the Admiral Piet, the corners are even good on those. So really stoked with those. Then we got a bunch of stickers from the Empire set. So we got Lando, 3PO, and R2. You can see those 80s colors starting to come into play. This is a 1980 set. We've got a horizontal group of stickers here. I'm going to flip this over. So this was, I know there's a little bit of a story behind this. because they're all in these designs. So is that numbers? No, it's not numbers. So that one looks like a 10 or an IO. I'm gonna have to figure out what that's about. But the other ones are in completely different designs, but they all have these little cutouts of the stickers. So here we've got Chewbacca on the left, we've got Lando and Han on the right. Then I had a little bit of a volume buy with two of these. So we got the bounty hunters over here. Look at that. You can see Boba Fett in the background. That's technically going to be a rookie, right? Because it's the Empire set. That was his first appearance. Unfortunately, it's focused on, I think his name is Bosk. But still pretty cool. You got Darth Vader on the right. So that one to me looks like a B and an X. Why would it be a B and an X? I don't know. I bet you Adam over at the Dollar Box would be able to answer that for me. This one's a little bit of a miscut. That looks like a C and a D to me. But you got Luke on Hoth on the left. And then you've got Princess Leia and Chewbacca trying to put C-3PO together on the right. You know what? Is this the whole alphabet? I don't know. So last one was a C and a D, right? And now we have E and what looks like O. So we got Leia looking at the radar to survey the incoming Empire forces. We've got 3PO in the backpack on Chewbacca, being led by stormtroopers. Then I had 4, 5, 6, 7 copies of this next one I picked up. So this to me looks like Z and T. So you get Chewbacca howling. Again, you've got the bounty hunters and Boba Fett, along with, I think that's IG-88. You've got some of the Imperial bridge officers down there. So some nice images there. And then I think we can go to vertical again. So I got 2 copies of this. We've got Lobot here from Cloud City. Cloud City Administrator Assistant, I guess, is what Lando's assistant. We got Bosk again, and then I think that's the Surgeon Droid. Is that the Surgeon Droid? I think it's the Surgeon Droid. We got a Luke Skywalker. And now we've gone to, let me see. So these yellow ones, those finish off the Empire stickers. Now we're going to go to Return of the Jedi. We've got Luke on the Jabba's skiff. We got Luke. I think that's him in Jabba's throne room. We've got Admiral Akbar. It's a drop. We've got Leia in her bounty hunter disguise. We've got Sir Alec Guinness. What is his name? It's definitely getting late for me. Obi-Wan Kenobi. There we go. How could I forget that? We've got R2-D2. These are all stickers. We got Cy Snoodles belting out another hot song. We've got... Who is this? Let me see. I'm gonna hold off on that one. That's a horizontal card anyway. We've got our old buddy Han. We've got our old buddy Han again. We've got Princess Leia. Carrie Fisher, rest in peace. Princess Leia in the bikini. You don't see the metal bikini, but that's what she's wearing there. You see Endor Leia with the speeder helmet on, so that's kind of cool. So got a nice variety there on the stickers, and they have the puzzle backs on them as well. But let's look at a couple of these horizontals. So I don't remember this dude's name. Was this someone in the band? I think it was in the band. It was either a bounty hunter or in the band. And I think they talked in like binary grunts and stuff like that. You got Yoda. You got your Yoda sticker. Gotta have that. You got Jabba the Hutt. And then his name is, if I recall, Nien Nunb. And I think he was buddies with Lando. When Lando takes the Falcon to go after Han, after Han is frozen in, spoiler alert, Han is frozen in carbonite at the end of Empire Strikes Back. They take off to go get him, and I think Nia Num for a while was co-piloting the Falcon with Lando, and he likes to chuckle from what I remember. Have I seen some Star Wars? Maybe a little. So those are the stickers. So I got a nice bundle of stickers there. There's probably 30 of the stickers. And then I got some of the cards. So let's see. 1, 2. Again, did some volume plays. So here's 2 of the 77 Series 1 Blue Starfield. Let me get them lined up right. We got Vader and Leia. We got a couple of Mark Hamill in Control Room. So that is kind of a behind the scenes thing, I think. We got a couple of Rebel leaders. Wonder about their fate. So Princess Leia's in that one. We've got Luke checking out the new droids. Hey, what are you trying to sell me here? This R2 unit's got a bad motivator. We've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Desperate moment for Ben. Anybody remember what happens to Ben right after this? What I find interesting on this one, so again, 77 Series 1 Blue Starfield. Look at the lightsaber. That is a still shot, and it has none of the animated effects, and they didn't even touch up the picture in the card. So the lightsaber is just this glass rod. It's interesting to see that. And actually, I got a second one of that, so I got a little volume there. We've got the capture of Princess Leia. So we've got Vader talking to her in the hallway of her diplomatic ship. We've got Han in the Falcon. And you can see the quality's pretty good on these. Yes, a few corners are a little soft, little peeling. But no big creases, nothing like that. Pretty good shape. I feel pretty good about excellent, or at the very least, very good on the card condition on these. So we got Obi-Wan and Luke on Tatooine. He must have just chased off the Sand Raiders. We got Luke and Leia about to swing across the chasm. C-3PO is injured again. Those Sand Raiders, those Tusken Raiders, they get a little rough out there in Tatooine. I love the full spelling of C-3PO instead of the letter C, the number 3, and the letters PO. We've got Luke and Han in the trash compactor, still in their stormtrooper disguises. We've got some repairs for 3PO. We've got Luke agrees to join Ben Kenobi. Something's got a little mixed up on me. I tried to sort them in an order for you, but a few are mixed up. The Rebels monitor the raid. So again, you have C-3PO and Princess Leia. And what I did on these, I didn't buy every single card he had. At a certain point, I kind of started thinking about a budget, because this was one of the last tables I hit in the day. And I had already spent a lot, and I knew I had a private sale stop after this. So I tried to get just the cards with prominent characters in them. So that's why you should see Leia or C-3PO or R2 or Luke or Ben Kenobi or Darth Vader in every one of these cards. So there's 3 copies of this one. The droids are reunited. This is outside the cantina in Tatooine. And it's, let's see, here's another one. So that's a duplicate. Like I said, I got some volume options. That was Darth Vader and Princess Leia. I got 4 of these, and this is an exception to the rule of one of the main characters, but it is iconic to me because it's the X-Wing fighter and a TIE fighter behind it. To me, that was Star Wars in the early 80s, growing up watching that. And of course, 77 for the first one. But I don't think I went to the theater in 77. I think I saw all my Star Wars movies of the original trilogy. I think I saw all of them on TV or, VHS or something like that. I don't think I saw any of them in the theater. Now, the newer trilogies, I went to the theater to see all of those. But the original, I had to wait and watch them at home. Let's see here. We've got a few more copies here. Looks like about 4 or 5 copies of Leia and 3PO looking over the battle plans. Of course, we've got the awards ceremony at the end. We've got 4 or 5 copies of that. So we've got Luke, Han, Chewbacca, C-3PO, and R2 there, and Leia, of course, in the background, I believe. We've got Luke preparing to get inside his X-Wing fighter, just like the old times, right? We've got Luke and Han and Chewbacca again at the award ceremony. I got 3 copies of that. And then my old friends, the Tusken Raiders, 4 copies of that. Look at that Tusken Raider. That is awesome. That's the best I can do right now without waking the house up. We got a couple more of Ben and Luke here, and we're starting to slide off our mark here. We've got a couple of Luke in the Sand Speeder. We've got our heroes in the Trash Compactor. I got about 4 copies of that. What a wonderful smell you've discovered, right? So then I also got one. This is Series 2 with the red border, interrogated by stormtroopers. These are not the droids you're looking for. I wish life was that easy, right? Just say it and make it so. And then I had a couple more vertical alignments. So 3 copies of Luke and Leia grabbing the line, preparing to swing across the chasm, and a nice portrait photo of Leia looking at the battle plans. So super stoked about my Star Wars buy. Oh, and one modern. I don't buy as much modern. I have learned that the vintage sells better than the modern, but if I find the right one, I will buy it. And what I mean by the right one is a primary character, a nice portrait shot, in the right price. So I did buy a Jyn Erso here. You can see her name in silver foil at the bottom. On the back, Jyn Erso, Star Wars Rogue One. I think the main reason I got this, it was kind of random in there, but it fit my criteria, and Rogue One has been on replay like constantly on TV in our area, on cable, and I've watched chunks of it a couple times here in the so it was fresh on my mind, and I think that is what caused me to go ahead and buy that one. So what do you think of the Star Wars buys this week? Did I do a good job? Do you think I left something on the table? Do you think I wasted my time? Let me know in the comments. Appreciate you all joining us here for this, the long format. Some people like this, some people don't. I've tried some things both ways. I've done a series of short format videos that all kind of link together, and I've done the long format. I know for me, I like the long formats when I'm a watcher. I play it in the background a lot while I'm doing some other things. Hopefully that's what you're doing with this video as well. The short videos have their own sweet spot too, though, right? Like if you just have a couple minutes, you're in a waiting room or something like that, pop in your earbuds and watch those short format ones, start to finish pretty quick. Card pickups are a tough one to do in the short format, though, because you get a lot of cards to get through. And breaking it up, I feel like you kind of lose some of the feeling of walking out of that card show with all those cards. So that is why I do the breaks in these. It gives us some nice, easy spots to build YouTube chapters in the video. So if you want to see just baseball, you want to just see football or just wrestling or whatever, you have those chapters and you can jump to those spots and see exactly what you're looking for. When you do that, it also shows me in the video analysis and stats, it shows me what you're more interested in. And if I see that, then I can kind of cater to those likes and dislikes as well. So we're going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, our last pile of the day, we have baseball. And this is what we have for baseball. Not too big of a stack, about the same amount we went through for Star Wars. But we will be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here. Going through my pickups video from the Green Bay card show last weekend at the Green Bay Distillery, a new venue for that one. Hopefully we see that one again. It really was a nice time out there at Green Bay Distillery. They put on a nice show, had food and drink right there, which is always a plus. Easily accessible area, plenty of room. Nothing bad to say. Maybe a little more lighting in the music hall. That got a little tough. If you weren't by the windows, it was a little tough to see, especially for old eyes like mine. But really nice location. Hope to be back there again. So we are in the final stretch run of our pickups video. We've got our baseball category to go through. I've got the card cam ready to go. Let's jump right in. Here we go. Starting off right away with an acetate clear card. This is a beautiful example of a 90, I believe it's 94 Fleer Ultra Seasons Crowns, Kenny Lofton. So look at that crown in the background. You got all kinds of nice design elements back there, but then what gets me is that acetate. So seeing those clear cards just revs me up all the time. So I made sure I picked that one up. Right away, we got another one here. This next one is a 2023 Panini Chronicles Clear Vision. I do like the Clear Vision. This one's of Ryan Zimmerman, Washington Nationals legend. Nice image of him there. I was a big fan of Ryan Zimmerman. He was on many of my fantasy baseball teams over the years. Then we got a couple die cuts coming up here. This first one really caught my attention. It's from 1998 Topps. It's the Lords of the Diamond set, and the die cut is just at the top. You can see the jagged edge up on the top. This is just design on the bottom. You don't have the jagged edge on the bottom. It's got a shiny finish to it. You can see it's kind of chrome-like. Nomar Garciaparra, legend for the Red Sox. Great rival to Derek Jeter. So I saw that one and I was like, man, I need to find more of those. Unfortunately, that's the only one I saw, but the next die cut I thought was a really cool design I'd like to find more of as well. This is from 2008 Upper Deck X. This is a J-Roll, Jimmy Rollins, another fantasy stalwart on my teams for years. Because of J-Roll, I kind of had a phase where I would say I legitimately was a Philadelphia Phillies fan. If I go to my hat rack right now, I believe I can still find a Philadelphia Phillies visor that I used to wear pretty regularly. But that was probably 10 years ago. So nice design on the die cut. It is the X cutout. So if I lift it up, you can see a little cutout at the top. It's got the cut in sides. I would definitely get more of those if I see them. That's the first time I saw them in a box. I'll definitely be on the lookout for them more. Then we have a couple 2022 Allen and Ginter, the Hall of Fame legends. We got a Lou Gehrig here. We've got a Hank Greenberg here. Again, I talk about the history of the game. I like to share the history of the game through cards, and I pick these up a lot. I do list them. They do sell. It really gives you a nice appreciation for the game when you read about some of the stories about these guys. Then I picked up a few from the 2015 Panini USA Baseball Stars and Stripes set of the collegiate national team. So I got two of these Kyle Schwarbers. I'm a big Kyle Schwarber fan. Just a fun player to watch. But also I got two of these Alex Bregman. I think Alex Bregman is kind of an overshadowed player. He's with the Houston Astros. Is a fantastic player. Gets overshadowed by a lot of the other superstars in the league. But I think as some stars cycle out of the league, Bregman might be one that elevates at some point. Then of course, it wouldn't be a card show without some Bo Jackson, right? So this one's a little questionable. Doesn't look like it's licensed. I'm gonna have to check this out. I may not be able to sell this, although it may go in a dime box. But the Superstar Zone Bo Jackson, White Sox days, kind of a cool card. The back just says Super Stats. No copyright or anything like that. So that's usually your first inclination that I think that's just a guy printing those on the side. So I'll have to check that out, but that might just end up in my dime box. Then I got a 1990 Bo Jackson, kind of classic image with the Royals. I think everybody has seen these. There's plenty of them around, but sometimes that's good to have cards like that in your store too. Yeah, it's not rare, but it's an iconic player. Bo knows, right? So I buy some of those and I keep some listed. Then one of my low-key faves, Bowman Platinum. Here we got I think that's a green ice. We got a Harry Ford, Seattle catcher. He's an up-and-coming prospect. We've got a Bowman Platinum base from 2023. We got a Volpe rookie for the Yankees. We got an Oswaldo Cabrera rookie for the Yankees. Those Yankees fan bases love those cards too. They move pretty easily. I don't think I'll have any problem selling those. Next, we've got a couple Nestle's commemorative promo cards from Topps. These are 87 promo cards. So you see the Nestle logo on it. Golden era. We've got Pie Traynor, third baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we've got Duke Snider for the Brooklyn Dodgers, modern era National League. Again, history of the game. I soak that stuff up. I may only have those cards in my possession for a short time, but I will tell you that I pick them up and read them every time before I list them, because I appreciate that history. 2022 Panini Select. I like the Enfuego inserts. So we got a Jose Altuve. One of my past favorites. I don't think he gets a lot of love because he was a catcher. 2000 Pacific Paramount, Mike Piazza with the Mets. I grabbed two of these. Something in my mind stuck out because of the image on this. This was Pinnacle. Let's see. Where's the year on this? My gosh, that's such small print, Pinnacle. Why are you trying to keep it a secret? 1992 score, Pinnacle, sidelines. And I got two of these. It's the Randy Johnson with the camera. So I do remember this scene when I was younger. So in 1992, I would have been a senior in high school. And I remember some kind of hubbub about this picture of him taking the camera. So he was not, if I remember, Randy Johnson was not a big fan of all the stuff that's outside of a baseball diamond that comes with being a star baseball player. He didn't like the publicity. He didn't like all the promotional things. He was just kind of a red ass type of guy. He's like, I'm going to go out. I'm going to throw the ball 100 miles an hour, strike out 10 guys in a game, get the win, and then I'm just going home. I don't care about the rest of this stuff. And that strikes people the wrong way, right? So, but no doubt he was an impressive player. Hall of Famer. Is he in there yet? I don't know if he's in there, but he should be at some point, I think. Definitely a dominant player in the 90s, early 2000s. All right, we got a Topps Finest Gamers, Josh Bell. Nice design there, and a chrome card. Back to that history of the game. So this one's a 2022 Panini Donruss 1988 Retro Lou Brock, St. Louis Cardinals. So when you talk about rivalries in baseball, of course, I'm a Milwaukee Brewers fan. You will see me wearing my gear. I'm wearing it right now. I dislike the Cardinals more than any other team my Brewers play. I can tolerate the Cubs, but I really don't like the Cardinals. They're so cocky for so many years when they were winning. Now you don't hear anything from them because they're not winning anything. Anyway, this next card is a parallel. 2015 Topps. It looks like I would call it like a silver ice. Boy, it's almost got depth to it when you look at it. But we got a Luis Severino. See how that ice pattern kind of has depth to it? Like you almost feel like it's not on the surface. I bought that strictly on eye appeal. And technically I think it's the Bowman brand, manufactured by Topps. But sometimes you see a card and you're like, that's just sharp. I'm buying it because someone else is going to like that. 2022 Panini Donruss, another legend of the game, Stan the Man. So that's a nickname variation instead of Stan Musial. They list him as Stan the Man. I like the nicknames. That's always fun. Back to Pinnacle, and this is another 1992. This is sidelines again, and it is Nolan Ryan on the horse on his ranch. How do I know he's on his ranch? Well, if you look at the back of the card, they actually go so far to say Nolan Ryan, cattle rancher. And that's kind of the allure of Nolan Ryan, right? He was a superstar athlete, but he was also an everyman. All he wanted to do is go back to his ranch with his wife and kids and his cattle and do what he enjoyed the most. And what he enjoyed most wasn't always baseball, right? Okay. Up next, looks like a 1992 Leaf, or 1993 Leaf. Long ball, 1992 long ball leader. So look back at the previous season. 460 feet, homer from Darryl Strawberry of the Dodgers. And as I said, my buddy Frank, he's the big Strawberry fan. This card will probably go to him versus listing it in my store. I like to pick up some Strawberry for him anytime I'm at a show. In fact, Frank met us out at the show for a while, had some good discussion. He looked around a little bit as well. But yeah, certain cards I'm always on the lookout for friends and family. And that is one of them. Then we got two Bowman's Best for Henry Davis, catcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I believe this year is now technically his rookie year. He's up with the big club. So he was one of the rookies in the 2024 Topps product. And that's kind of one of those sneaky plays too. Like, all right, you get a popular rookie up now. Can you get some of his prospect cards, right? Because those will go too, especially if they start off really hot, do some great things. They almost always cool off eventually. But if they start hot, it drives the card market on not only their rookie card, but their prospect cards too. A nice insert from Panini Prism, 2022 Panini Prism Lumber Ink, Max Muncy. I am a big fan of these Aces cards, 2022 Panini Mosaic Aces. So we've got Lucas Giolito there, the Ace of Spades. Topps Museum Collection. So this is a 2014 Topps Museum Collection. Tony Gwynn, another great of the game. Nice classic looking card there. Okay, this one's interesting too. A 2016 Topps Chrome Future Stars Jorge Soler. Soler, I should say. Jorge Soler. So, number one, I love the Future Stars design on this one. They did more than just the logo, which is what I typically see today, is just the logo. This year, they actually did a little more design to it. So I think that's nice. Jorge Soler is an interesting play because he's one of those all or nothing guys. He could hit 70 home runs this year, or he could strike out 250 times, or do both. I don't know. So he's kind of a sneaky play. I will buy some of his cards here and there. I know I had an auto prospect card of him that I've sold now. He's a boom or bust type of player. But if I see a card like this that has some eye appeal, I'm willing to take a chance on it, especially if I'm paying 10 cents or 25 cents, whatever it was that I paid on this one. I talked in the past on some of my videos about the O'Neill Cruz bus. So I was on the O'Neill Cruz bandwagon. Unfortunately, had a devastating injury last year. I think it was a broken ankle sliding into home or something. But I still pick up an occasional rookie card for him, or a nice insert or parallel, because he will be back again. And if he can pick up where he left off, which is totally possible, no reason to say he can't, that could be a sneaky play. Okay, 1985. So we're going back to the 80s. 1985 Topps Collector season. All-time record holders, Whitey Ford of the New York Yankees. So Whitey Ford, that's a fun one for me because I only know Whitey as a manager. But looking at the back of the card here, I guess I can put it down for you on the back too. Set World Series record with 33 consecutive scoreless innings pitched. Set World Series record with 10 wins lifetime. Set World Series record with 94 strikeouts lifetime. And tied a Major League record with 2 consecutive one-hitters in 1955. He was also the winner of the AL Cy Young Award in 1961. So he played from 50 to 67, 236 wins, 106 losses with almost 2,000 strikeouts, 45 shutouts, which you just don't see anymore, 10 saves just to fill the stat sheet. He had some saves in there as well. So like those classic players cards, we'll pick those up often, as I've said repeatedly. Raleigh Fingers, one of my favorite boyhood players. As a kid growing up in the greater Milwaukee area in the early 80s, and being there, living in Milwaukee when the Brewers went to the World Series in 82. Yes, I know, they lost. This is not Raleigh Fingers, this is Dennis Eckersley. But Raleigh Fingers was at that time on the Brewers and came from the A's, had a mustache. Dennis Eckersley, this is his A's card where he also had the mustache rocking. And they had that dominant couple of years in the late 70s. Now this one is a later card. It's interesting too. Clutch Performers, Reggie Jackson's Clutch Performers. This is like a 93 upper deck. You can see on the badge up there. But it is of Dennis Eckersley. I don't know if he was a closer then or still a starter. So, but he is a Hall of Fame pitcher as well. Has done some TV and radio as well. Then I had 2 of these Topps Stadium Club Chrome. Ted Williams in his fighter pilot jacket. Boston Red Sox, the Splendid Splinter. I pick a few of these up here and there. They seem to be around, pretty plentiful, but it's such a cool image of him in his, World War II gear. And I'm a big fan of Topps Stadium Club, especially the Chromes. I continue to pick them up when I find them. This next one is another rookie card for Oswaldo Cabrera. I think this is Topps Archives. So a rookie card there. We've got some Brett Beatty of the Mets, rookie card there. Still a chance for him to be something special. He had a lot of fanfare coming up. Expected a little more last year. But he's no reason he still can't produce and break out, right? So then I got 4 of this variation card too. Again, his rookie card there from Bowman. A Randy Arozarena Fearless card from Panini Prism. Such a character on the baseball diamond, like mean mugging, bat flips, all that stuff. He doesn't care about the old rules. He's a true new school player, and I have to admit, it's kind of fun. Then we got a 2023, I believe. Topps Finest Intimidators, Michael Conforto of the Giants. So on name value alone, not a whole lot to be excited about there with, sorry, Michael Conforto, but a cool insert is what I saw here. The purple, the kind of spiral background, and the Intimidators logo, just eye appeal for me on that one. And then I found a 2015. Let me look at this one closer. Under the magnifying glass, 2013 BBM Japanese Baseball League, Shohei Ohtani with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Gotta love the Ham Fighters. So any show card I can grab, I will get it. I can't tell you that I have any other Japanese baseball cards of show. So of course I had to grab that when I saw it. We got a Tony Gwynn red parallel black diamond. I really do like the black diamond cards. Then we got another Bo Jackson, another pretty common card, 89 Don Russ, with kind of the sunset colors there. Topps Gallery. I am still a fan of Topps Gallery, even if they decided not to make it anymore. 2017 Dansby Swanson rookie. We got an Upper Deck SP matchup, Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa doesn't get a lot of love either because of those steroids years with him and Bonds and McGuire. But it sure was fun watching him mash dingers. So I do grab a card of his every once in a while. Staying in that era, we got a Barry Bonds Pacific Prism. Love the old school prisms, kind of the early days of prisms. Look at that. It's like a disco ball. I feel like I'm hearing KC and the Sunshine Band playing when I look at that card. I'm going to switch out the stack. We're in the final stretch run here. Up next, we've got Top 60, 2011 Top 60. Jackie Robinson. Can't go wrong with the Jackie Robinson card. I will buy those anytime I see him. We got a 2011 Topps throwback to 2002 Vlad Guerrero with the Montreal Expos. We got another Top 60. This one with Miguel Cabrera. I loaded up on Miguel Cabrera as he winded down his career. He's a surefire Hall of Famer as well. And we got a 92 Leaf Heritage Series, Studio 92. So I think the set is Studio, and then the Heritage Series is the insert. I have not really seen a lot of these before, and that's why I picked it up. Plus, I was talking about the Killer Bees recently. So this is Jeff Bagwell in the Heritage Series, and he's wearing the old Colt 45s jersey, which is super cool to me. Love it, love it, love it. I will grab some more of these if I can find them. Up next, another type of card I am fond of that I know I'm probably in the minority on, but we got a 1995 Topps. This is a 94 Hot Streak card. It's a Kirby Puckett, and it's the lenticular. So as you move it, you can see a little bit of depth with those baseballs, kind of a 3D card. I love all those early design attempts they made to spice up the card market. I'm a sucker for those, so I buy them. And then a 2007 Topps Chrome Kurt Schilling refractor. Really nice card there. We got Bowman Chrome, 2023 Bowman Chrome Iconic Insert, Jose Altuve. We've got a Classic 4 Sport. What year is this? Maybe a 96, I think. Let's see. Yep, 96. Classic Sport. We got a Vlad Guerrero. Again, of the old Montreal Expos days. We got another Bowman Best, Henry Davis. I think we saw a couple of these earlier, so this would be the third copy I got. Trying to do some volume sales there. Took the same approach with this next card, another 2021 Bowman's Best. This one, Colton Cowser. Again, Colton Cowser is one of the hot rookies this year. I sold quite a few Colton Cowser cards this year. I had an auto card of him, I had some parallels of them, and I had the base card of them, and I sold every one of them. All right, Topps. I'm pretty sure this is Topps Heritage. Yep, there's the badge. A 74 highlights insert. So we have Davey Lopes of the Los Angeles Dodgers, commemorating some of his highlights in 74. Davey Lopes is a guy I know mostly because he coached my Milwaukee Brewers for a while. All right, almost done. This is like a 96 or 98, 1996 Paul Molitor Topps Chrome with the Toronto Blue Jays. I bought that strictly because I did not think I had any Toronto Blue Jays Paul Molitor. Most of what I have is Minnesota Twins or the Milwaukee Brewers, of course. So I wanted to kind of round that out and get some Toronto Blue Jays as well. This is a 2023 Topps Chrome Action Stars insert, which I think is really cool. You got like the explosion in the back. Just eye appeal galore here. Fernando Tatis Jr. is still a pretty good name in the hobby. So that was a slam dunk for me, finding that in like a 10-cent box. And then we got a couple X-Fractors. These are from 2023 Topps, I think. 2023 X-Fractors. So we got Shea Langolier's rookie card. We got Oswaldo Cabrera's rookie card. Anytime I can get a parallel refractor for less than 50 cents, I'm pretty much all in. And then we go back to the history of the game. This is All-Star Collectors Club A1139. The Bambino, Babe Ruth, gold performance is the badge there. We got the gold signature, gold tint on all the card. Love me some Babe Ruth cards. I grab them every time I can. They sell quite a bit through the store. He's still got the myth of Babe Ruth, right? All right, we got about 6 to 10 cards left, and they're horizontal. So we'll get those out there. First up, I got 2 of these. I've sold this set before. Collector's Choice. We got the brick wall. We got the holographic image there, and the modern image. Roberto Alomar, Home Run All Stars. We got a Bryce Harper sighting. I think this is 2018. Topps Chrome, Bryce Harper. Must have been right after. Is that Phillies or is that Nationals jersey? It might be Nationals jersey, right? Looks like Nationals parked there, and it's the All-Star game. So 2018 sounds like Nationals, right? He hadn't made the move yet. And then we got a couple of these Upper Deck Exponential cards. I got a Gary Sheffield, so a nice shiny finish on that. And then my man, Torrey Hunter of the Angels, another guy on my fantasy teams all the time. Like when Vlad Guerrero went to the Angels, that was another team that I was a big fan of for a while. And then when I lived in Southern California, I kind of leaned towards the Angels more than the Dodgers, and went to quite a few games there at Angel Stadium. I got lucky one time. I went up day of the game just on I think I was in LA. I lived in Bakersfield, but I was in LA working with one of our satellite offices for my company. And I was there for a couple days. So one night I'm like, I'm going to go check out an A's game. Walk up to the ticket window, just get whatever ticket I can. Ended up being in like the 8th row behind home plate. And I could tell that there was a different class of people sitting around me that are in a much higher income bracket. It was kind of a cool experience. I was there by myself. I don't even remember if they won or lost, but for a number of years, I was trying to visit as many major league ballparks as I can. So that was part of that. Hey, I'll go to an Angels game tonight. And then we got another Bryce Harper 2023 Titans insert from Topps Chrome. A really cool looking insert. I like it. They look like a giant, like Godzilla in the ballpark. That one's definitely Phillies. And then our last card of our baseball category. I was going to say the last card of the day. I see I've got 3 oddball cards that are a little different than the rest. I'll show you here in a minute to finish out the night. But this one, I'm looking at it now. This was a random card in with the wrestling dealer. And I was like, oh, that's weird. You have this one baseball card in there. But I took it because it was really cheap. And it was not a jersey. It was this little piece of bat or something in there. I don't know. It feels like wood to me. Yeah, it feels like wood. So I was like, oh, I don't really have any non-jersey ones. I'm going to grab that. But as I just took it out to show you and started looking at it closer, let me see if I can get you a good look at it. Right about where Ketel Marte's name is, there is a line through this whole card. And I don't know if it's a print line or what. It doesn't look like a typical print line to me. But I will tell you, I'm probably going to throw that into like my dime box or something because it's so noticeable in my hand. I wish I could get it to show on the picture for you. But I do not really like selling cards like this on my eBay store. Even if I discount it a lot. Because for this very reason, you're looking at this with me on camera right now. And there it is. Now you can see it. That line goes all the way through, top and bottom. Yeah, and you can see a little on the bottom. It's almost like, someone locked up the tires on a Hot Wheel and dragged it across there. So on a good picture, you can't always see that. But then you get it in your hand and you're like, what the heck? I know I bought it cheap, but I probably still wouldn't have bought it if I knew it looked like this. So most often, I don't even mess with these cards, especially if they're lower end. Now, if it's a vintage card or it's a higher end card, then I document the heck out of it and I make sure I let them know exactly what's wrong with it. I do some extra photos of it. I cover my bases as much as I can. And even then, I worry sometimes that someone's going to be like, that's, I wouldn't have bought this if I knew that was there. But every once in a while, you're going through those boxes of the card show, and that's going to happen. You're not going to notice a condition flaw when you're going through the box. I will tell you, every card show, I probably get home and, can't use 2 or 3 cards. It doesn't happen a lot, but it will happen. All right. 3 more cards to go through, and then we are done for the day. Number 1, we got a Jeff Gordon. This is from his rookie season, I believe. If I look at the back of this, not a well-known card. 1992 limited edition commemorative card. Won the 91 Vortex Comics Rookie of the Year. Youngest ever. Youngest driver ever to win the U.S. Auto Club Silver Crown. I think this card is legit. I'm going to have to do some research on it. But look at how young Jeff Gordon is. And rocking the stash. There's a lot of pictures of his early seasons with him rocking the stash. And he didn't have the stash when he got older. But it's like that classic mustache. So it got me. Even if I end up putting this into my 10-cent box or something, it should draw some attention. But if I can sell it in my store, I will. And then 2 non-sport cards I got for the day. And these were, if I remember right, these were in the box with the Star Wars stuff. A little Christina Applegate. Genie in a Bottle is this set. This is from Upper Deck. What year did this come out? 2008? No, 2000. 2000. So this was like when she first left Disney, right? Genie in a Bottle. That was her first album and stuff. So I got 2 cards of that. Here's the other one. I barely recognize her from X Tina, right? When she got kind of raw and little more sexual as she got more experience in the music business and dirty. That's why she got dirty. And now when I see her, she still really turns on the sex appeal and everything she wears and tries to look like. But these pictures are like, I look at her there and she looks like this innocent girl, right, some innocent high school girl or something. And I'm like, I don't really remember that Christina Aguilera. But I wish I did. Like, she looks so wholesome in these compared to her style later on. Not that there's anything wrong with her style later on, but for me, it was just kind of refreshing to see this older version of Christina. So I picked them up, 10 cents or whatever. I thought it was worth seeing if anybody else got a kick out of seeing these early days of Christina and maybe wanted that for their collection as well. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Well over 300 cards we went through today. Wrestling, football, baseball, Star Wars, Christina Aguilera, pretty much all the big ones for me in my store. And Stu made it too. He's still here. So we really appreciate you hanging out with us today. We have a lot of fun doing this. I typically get a lot of feedback that this card pickups are one of the things people like to see. I think people like to see what are others picking up. How do I see what others pick up and maybe fine tune what I'm picking up? Oh, if it's selling for them, maybe I can sell it too. If they take a chance picking that up, maybe I should too. Or sometimes it's seeing what we don't pick up, right? If you don't come home with any 94 Fleer base, maybe that's a sign that you see other people not getting that. Maybe you shouldn't be doing that too. Because there are sets that are so overpopulated and really not special that unless you're finding just the right person, they're not going to sell much, right? Now, set collectors, even those are so overpopulated that, as the saying goes, everybody who wanted one already has one, right? Because they're so easy to find. So sometimes you'll pick that out of these pickup videos as well. Oh, I didn't see any of this, so maybe I should back off on that. So good time had by all, hopefully. I've got another pickups video that I'm going to have to put together at some point in the next week, of my private pickups. So, I've worked with a gentleman before who had his son's collection of cards and he's invited me over a couple times to pick some of those cards out. Now, a lot of it is that late 80s, early 90s overproduced stuff. But this trip, I was able to pick up a really unblemished complete set, I believe, of 1975 SSPC baseball to get into that vintage market. So you remember at the Eau Claire show, I picked up some vintage baseball for one of the first times, and I've sold quite a bit. And then I had an extended family member that gave me a box full of vintage cards, some 74 in that, I think, 74 tops, and asked me what I could do with it. And I've started selling quite a bit of that. So I'm super excited to get this full box of 75 baseball that looks like it hasn't been out of the box hardly ever. And they're pristine white cards. So hope to show that to you in the near future. I don't want to stretch this show out any longer. We're at the 2:45 or so, 2 hours and 45 minutes mark. So I think we've all had enough of this show's pickups, but really appreciate y'all on this journey with me and Stu. And as long as you're interested, we'll continue sharing that. So this is me and Stu saying, peace out.